Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. Let's just get straight to it. Wow. Cattleya maxima. When I got this plant, I just did not really know. I kind of knew, but I didn't know, really. I didn't know what maxima looked like when it really bloomed out. I didn't know how the plant grew. I got it from someone who was just clearing out a bunch of plants. I got it for about 15 bucks. The tag said Seattle Orchid, which I don't even think that they are in existence anymore. Got it, I think it was February of 2021. And I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty nice. The flowers open almost white, really. Just a little color in them. And then they kind of color up over the next few days. You can see a little bit more color in this one. And then the full color is just this gorgeous steel blue, pale lavender, smoky lavender. Don't exactly know how to describe it. If we want to get a little critical, I can say I don't like how the flowers just kind of open up all on top of each other. You can see these guys here are just like, I've manipulated these quite a bit to get them, hopefully they will actually bloom out. This one was just going to bloom out down here somewhere where like it was not even going to open. It was just going to be stuck in between the leaf and the sheath and all that. So I kind of moved everything around. I moved this guy around too. So there was a little bit of manipulation needed, I thought, to get everything spread out so you could see, but the color is really the striking feature of this. Maxima usually has this bright yellow stripe down the middle. These, you barely see the yellow at all. The like I said, this smoky pale gray lavender, it's consistent throughout the whole flower. There's not like darker parts or lighter parts. It's just all that same consistent color, and it's just super nice. I just really like it. Believe it or not, these flowers are not, they're barely fragrant at all. If I put my nose right up next to it, I can kind of get some very sweet kind of floral smell, but it's very faint. Maybe it'll be stronger once everything gets bloomed out, but this thing has bloomed 2 or 3 times for me before, and I just never have noticed a really strong fragrance. So that's unfortunate because, clearly fragrance is a big deal when growing orchids. So when it's all done, there'll be 21 of them. There are 19 up here on top, and there's 2 down here. They're going to be opening soon as well. So today is actually judging, and if it were fully bloomed out, I would take it, even though there's dozens and dozens and dozens of maximas that have already been awarded. But the judges just like to see plants, and they like to see plants that look good, even if they're not awardable. They like to see those things. So I like to take them down and give me a chance to stay on the judge's good side. You know what I mean? Back over here, we've got little Bulbo lepidum. It's actually going to be closing up probably today or tomorrow. It's been open for 2 or 3 days. This is one of those flowers where from a distance, you're like, oh, that's cute, that's pretty. And then when you get close to it, and you see the inner workings, and you see the little lips flipping back and forth, and they change color from light yellowish green to dark red, and almost like they're signaling. And you say, wow, you go from that's cute to OMG, that is crazy. So I really love that. I love Bulbo for that reason. And I can't wait till that one gets a little bit bigger and has multiple spikes all bloom at once. Believe it or not, Cycnoches cooperi has stayed in bloom. Still looks good. The one flower that I accidentally triggered the pollen on, it shriveled up, so I cut that one off to kind of allow the display to remain nice. And it does smell a little stronger this week. It's still that, like I said, I kind of described it as like a chocolate scented eraser. Remember when you were kids and they had like little erasers that like smelled like cupcakes and strawberries and stuff? It's like a rubber scented with chocolate. So it's kind of that rubbery smell, but then like chocolate on top of it. And then there's like this sweetness that if you've ever smelled like nobile type dendrobiums, they've got this like really hard, like super sweet, but it's like it's like an ethereal fragrance that kind of creeps on you. It's weird. It's not like a straight tint to the nose, you smell it type thing. So it's like this overarching deep sweetness, but then rubber and chocolate up front. So it's kind of interesting. Cycnoches Wine Delight is pushing out its little spike here. I moved it over so it would have some space. And it looks like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8 flowers on that, which isn't bad for this little bitty bulb. And then my little Rebecca Northerns, they're just finishing up. You can see that their bulbs are plumping up. And those started to spike in November last year. They were blooming right around the solstice, the winter solstice. Lamodia Jumbo World is looking pretty good. It's got tons of roots in there, and it's got 2 large growths and 1 little small growth that pushed out this year. And this plant is for sale. This is my Cattleya Rex Koichi. Koichi bloomed 3 blooms on its first flowering last year. And then this year it tried to bloom again, and as I was kind of fiddling around with it, I accidentally broke the spike off. Oops. So this growth was supposed to bloom, it didn't bloom. It's currently on eBay, and that auction will end tonight. Or no, tomorrow night, Sunday night. So Koichi looking pretty good, lots of new roots, tons of older roots on it too. And yeah, Jessie Lee has got flowers coming out of the sheath, but I'm kind of like on a disappointment scale of 0 to 5. I'm kind of 3.5 on this because the buds are supposed to be nice and round and solid, and you can see that they're split. The sepals aren't forming correctly, they're not growing correctly. You can already see the petals and the lips pushing out, and that you should not see that at all this early in the development. So I'm wondering if it's because the plant is still kind of recovering from the massive pruning that it got. I divided it into 3 pieces, sold off the nice front pieces, and these are the back bulbs. Last year it put out 1 flower. This year it looks like 2. I don't know if there's a 3rd one in there, but I'm really shocked that I thought I had sprayed some insecticide or something that had made the flowers do this last year. But no such thing this year, and they still are coming out wonky. So I don't know what that is. I hope the plant is still healthy. But I think the flowers will still bloom out decently. They'll look okay, but they won't be like pristine and really nice, which is what I was hoping. But anyway, so we'll let that, this plant, once it gets going, it grows like a weed. It puts out lots of growth and lots of flowers. So maybe it just has needed a couple years to get going after that really severe pruning that it got. Was it maybe a year and a half ago? So yeah, we got Cattleya Rex Inti over here trying to put out some new roots. It's pretty shriveled. I've been watering everything a little bit less just to try to, I don't know, combat too much moisture in here. 2 pods really do take it out of a plant, especially when it's still a relatively young plant with only a few major big growths on it. So I'm watering carefully, but I just want to make sure that they really do dry out in between waterings so that I'm not dealing with fungus issues like I have in the past. So yeah, these are the new little babies. These are my Rexes from Troy Myers. This is Inti by Kia. And they seem to be okay. I see new roots poking out already. A lot of people have reached out to me and showed me pictures of theirs. I think a lot of people are happy with the seedlings that they got. Today I'm going over to my friend's house. I've got 3 huge pieces of cork bark that I'm going to slice up into pieces, and then I'm going to attach these guys and maybe some of these other seedlings as well. to the cork bark, and put, maybe just actually have this stuff here. I could probably just hang them off these on both sides there. So that could be what I do with those. And I just, if you look at these two plants in the pots back here, these two were mounted from the time they were little seedlings. And look at them compared to the others. I mean, the other plants are okay, the other plants are blooming, but these guys are like unstoppable monsters. And even in the pots, it can get too wet in the bottom there, and there can be fungal issues that start to arise in the bottom of that pot if you're not careful. So I'm starting to think that like a mount that sits in a basket might be the best solution for me. Just avoiding any areas that don't dry out quickly, where water and moisture can just sit around, hang around for days. That's definitely something that's got to be avoided with these guys. So, Cattleya maxima, you're the star of the show this week. Cycnoches wine delight, or not wine delight, Cycnoches cooperi, you are certainly in the running as well. And that is all for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed our chat about Phalaenopsis, and hope things are growing well for you. I'm William Green, and I will see you next time.